Hey y'all, I'm Lacey.
And I'm Danica.
We will be using this account to spread the gospel.
To bring more Christians together, answer questions, and help others understand the Bible easier.
What are the 7 deadly sins?
The 7 deadly sins include pride, lust, greed, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. The reason they are called this is because they are considered capital or root vices that fuel other more damaging immoral behaviors originating from early Christians, specifically Catholic theological belief. They are deadly because they are believed to cause the death of the soul and lead to eternal separation from God if not repented.
I personally believe that another reason that they are called 7 deadly sins is so that people are able to remember them a little better, given the name, and I think these are the sins that people struggle with the most. I will be explaining wrath, greed, and sloth.
And I will be going into detail about envy, pride, and gluttony.
Okay. We'll both tell you about lust, which we both agree that we struggle with the most, and we think that others struggle with also. The most, by the way. First, I will start off with sloth. The verse that talks about sloth is Proverbs 6:9-11. But you lazy bones, how long will you sleep? When will you wake up? A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little floating to the hands to rest. Then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. I learned this from a TikToker named Walking with Carter. Please go check out his videos. I don't want to get copyrighted, so I had to mention him. And that's who I learned sloth from the most. Being a sloth who does nothing can lead to poverty. If you know what poverty means, it's like the state of lacking income and access to necessities like clothes, food, shoes, a home over your head. Anyways, it can also be spiritual, like not forming a relationship with God, which will send you to a different place from heaven. Being a sloth is also where you avoid tasks and responsibility. Like let's say I started beef with a girl last week, and I'm just I ain't doing all that. I ain't talking to her. I'm not doing it. That can also be seen as a sloth.
My first sin is gluttony. Gluttony is the inordinated habitual desire for food. This shades lack of self-control and a disorderly love for earthly pleasure over God. Gluttony is also linked to laziness and disobedience. Philippians 3:19 warns of those whose belly is their God, placing body's desires above spiritual matters.
Gluttony are closely linked as a part of the 7 deadly sins, representing a disordered love or a misuse of God's gift. You should not be eating all the time. I know I do, especially when I get stressed out. It's kind of a stress reliever, even though God should be my stress reliever, you know? Greed is an intense selfishness, usually money, but it can be anything. For me, it's definitely wanting more pets on Adopt Me. Adopt Me is a Roblox game for kids. I get picked on a little bit for that, but it's okay. 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have earned from the faith. I think that's what that says. We'll be putting this in the video anyways. And pierce themselves through with many sorrows. This verse emphasizes that money itself is not evil, but the love for it is the catalyst for all kinds of wickedness. Think of a millionaire or some evil celebrity, but you could also just be an average person, like a homeless person. Sometimes they're evil too because they just want money. I've heard that people fake homelessness to also get money. Nobody needs millions or even billions, and we're supposed to be getting our first trillionaire.
Pride is considered the root of the 7 sins, functioning as their inflated self-worth that fuels other vices. Pride also goes along with gluttony, greed, and sloth. By creating self-centered obsession with pleasure, possession, and comfort, placing one's own desire above reason, compassion, or spiritual duty. Think of owning a $200,000 car. Wouldn't you be prideful in it? Because it's expensive and luxurious. There is a verse for pride. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, a naughty spirit before a fall. Just remember that harangues leads to ruin. Have a modest heart to avoid downfall.
Explains the two wraths. One is God's, and the second one is ours. God's is intense, righteously anger, primarily attributed to God, directed against sin, injustice, and disobedience.
This is different from human wrath which is impulsive and cruel. God's wrath is perfect too.
It's defined as vengeful, uncontrollable, and sinful anger. James 1:20 states, human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. All anger causes destructive behaviors and violent impulsivity. Like, when you're in a beef situation with a girl and you decide about her, that's impulsive and violent. Remember that. Genesis 49:6-7. I'm sorry, I have to. Jacob condemns the wrath of his sons, Simon and Levi, for in their anger they killed men. Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. Simon and Levi killed all the men of Shechem due to their anger, so please learn how to calm yourself.
Deadly sin is envy. People often mistake envy and jealousy. The difference is envy is the desire for something that another person has, while jealousy is the fear of losing something you already have to another person. Like, if you're in a relationship and you are jealous of somebody else in that they are talking to, then that's jealousy. The Bible describes envy to be deeply destructive. It is a soul-rotting emotion that stems from a state of heart. Proverbs 14:30 says, a heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Together, me and Lacey have decided to both speak on lust because we feel that this is the sin that we both struggle with the most.
As teens in a very lustful generation, it is far more easy to say, well, it's okay because everybody else does it. And we often hear the words huzz, chuzz, and cracking, which is very dehumanization. I don't know how to say that word. To who is said about.
The brief description of lust is sexual impurity, which is not love, because love is not selfish.
Yes. Lust is not a desire that you should act on. Matthew 5:28, but I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart.
What this verse is saying is lust is a matter of the heart and mind, not just physical action.
I would just like to mention we found all of this on Google and on TikTok because we personally are not good at explaining things to where you are able to understand. But we did incorporate our own words a lot, obviously, because that would be horribly copyrighted. I would really hope that we were able to help you understand the 7 deadly sins and why they exist, because when I was a kid, I thought that these were just the worst sins you could ever commit, like blasphemy, which the 7 deadly sins, they're obviously bad, just like any other sin, but I didn't understand how common these were, which is why we believe that they're called the 7 deadly sins for that reason, because they're common.
Please give us feedback and tell us anything that you want to know so we can learn more. We are just here to spread the gospel and peace and people who want to learn more or just don't understand the Bible well.
This is also for the people who just want to hear about Jesus.
Don't be afraid to recommend what you would like to hear or learn about.
See ya, love you, bye. So we would just like to apologize in case y'all are not able to understand us. We were just 2 teens in high school trying to spread the gospel. And we are not the best at using our words, especially on camera, because we're nervous.
and we would just like any recommendations of what you would like to learn next, and we're open to talk about anything that you have questions about the Bible.
See ya, love you, bye.